Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. The international break is just about halfway done, and Liverpool boss Arneslot will have his mind firmly focused on the return of the Premier League. The Dutchman has been without his squad and has the task of facing Everton in the Merseyside derby when domestic football returns. The Reds entered the break off the back of defeats to Paris Saint-Germain and Newcastle that have ensured the Premier League now remains the club's only avenue for success. 9 games remain in the division to convert their healthy 12-point lead into a 20th domestic crown to mark Slot's debut season in style. Slot has already seen an addition to his injury concerns in the shape of Ryan Gravenberch, who was pulled out of the Netherlands squad. He will be hoping for a clean bill of health between now and next weekend. Trent Alexander-Arnold's future remains up in the air as his Liverpool contract ticks down until the end of the season. Real Madrid remains a potential destination after the Reds knocked back offers in January about another Spanish giant are said to have tried their chance. Reports in Spain suggest Barcelona have sounded out the Liverpool vice-captain ahead of him becoming available for free in the summer, but were knocked back. The fullback's mind is said to be firmly on making the move to Madrid. Alexander-Arnold is already said to know his salary and that a long-term contract awaits at the Bernabeu. The free transfer is all but done, it is claimed. Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson has withdrawn from the Brazil squad after a sickening clash of heads during the match against Colombia. The shot-stopper collided with former Spurs star Davinson Sanchez during a World Cup qualifying match on Thursday. Alisson was substituted in the 78th minute, and Liverpool have confirmed that their play will fly back to Merseyside. A statement from the club on Friday read Alisson Becker has departed the Brazil national team setup and will return to Liverpool. The goalkeeper was forced off in the second half of his nation's World Cup qualifier with Colombia in the early hours of Friday following a collision. Alisson is travelling back to Merseyside and will undergo assessment from the Reds medical staff. Georgi Mamadashvili has his eye on becoming Liverpool #1 when he arrives at the club in the summer. The Georgian goalkeeper completed a transfer to Anfield in August, but remain on loan at Valencia rather than joining up with Slot. And I am going to Liverpool to fight for the #1 spot, he told Geo Team after Georgia's 3-0 victory over Armenia on Thursday. I will go there to train at my best, and I don't know what they will decide afterward. I don't decide who plays and who doesn't. When this international break is over, the club season will be entering the home straight and honours will be decided. Manchester City, despite their strictly indifferent form, remain the bookmakers' favourites to win the FA Cup, while Arsenal and Aston Villa are considered relative outsiders when it comes to raising the Champions League trophy in Munich on May 31st. And of course, the only uncertainty about the destination of the Premier League title is when Liverpool win the title, not if. Similarly, it would seem the destination of the top individual honours in English football is also a simple formality. Mohamed Salah is the top scorer and top assist provider in the Premier League's best team. His numbers are great. His hopes of collecting the 2025 Ballon d'Or were probably extinguished by PSG, but he seems a shoo-in for the domestic accolades. But when members of the Football Writers Association were originally asked to vote for the Footballer of the Year, the English game's oldest individual award, first won by Sir Stanley Matthews in 1948, they were asked to consider who by precept and example had been the best player. And as sensational as Salah has been, that is why I am sorely tempted to vote for Bruno Guimaraes at the end of this season. He has not been the most outstanding performer in English club football this season. He has probably not been the most outstanding performer for Newcastle United this season. But the way he led Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final last Sunday, and the way he spoke after the match, truly reflected a commitment to the supporters. It truly reflected a love of the community that gives him so much love. Tearfully, he spoke about it being the best day of his life, about wanting to be remembered as Alan Shearer is remembered after he left the club, about Newcastle being his second home. He continued in the same vein with subsequent messages on social media. Look, Guimaraes could yet end up making a big money move this summer, and his words might not carry the same weight of importance. We all know how football works, but last Sunday, He showed a true understanding of who makes clubs great. The fans, not the owners. And the captain showed true camaraderie when sharing trophy-hoisting privileges with former captain Kieran Trippier and Jamal Lascelles, the club captain who has been out for a year with a serious knee injury. This was only the Carabao Cup, don't forget. And for those with no vested emotion in the club, perhaps the scenes at the end of the win over Liverpool might have seemed a bit much. But if anyone had any of those thoughts, they were soon banished by the words and deeds of Bruno, a Brazilian who articulated and exemplified everything that is special about the relationship between footballers and fans. And while he has no chance of being named as the Footballer of the Year, he would be a deserving winner. It's understandable for Liverpool fans to be nervous when they see the lack of progress in public over Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold's contract talks. As great as this season is proving to be for Liverpool, there is real concern 3 of their best players could leave on frees this summer. Van Dijk added to the uncertainty when the Liverpool skipper said he has no idea if he will still be at Anfield next season after the Champions League defeat to Paris Saint-Germain. But supporters only need to look at Liverpool's appointment of Arneslot for reassurance that the club can get big decisions right. There was real anxiety among Copites in January when Jurgen Klopp announced he would be leaving Anfield at the end of the season. He had crafted Liverpool in his own image during his 9 success-filled years, and the question for owners Fenway Sports Group, FSG, was how to replace the irreplaceable. Xabi Alonso was the obvious choice and ticked all the boxes. He understood Liverpool inside out, was loved by the fans, was young, and most crucially, was a winner. The Basque's double success with Bayer Leverkusen made him the manager that not just Liverpool, but Bayern Munich wanted before he ruled himself out. This put Liverpool back to square one, and while all the outside noise was about Ruben Amorim, who the Reds felt was too young and too wedded to a back three, and Roberto De Zerbi, they produced Slot like a rabbit out of a hat. Armed with all the data analysis, which is the envy of every geek, Liverpool identified Slot as someone who could succeed with the squad already assembled at Anfield. He had the right temperament, philosophy, age at 45, and was a winner at Feyenoord. Erik ten Hag had blackened the name of Dutch coaches in England, but Slot and his compatriot are like chalk and cheese. Although Feyenoord are one of Holland's big 3, they lag behind Ajax and must punch above their weight to win the Eredivisie. Slot duly did this, guiding Feyenoord to the inaugural Europa Conference League final in 2022, the Eredivisie title in 2023, and the Dutch Cup in 2024 before he moved to Liverpool. Liverpool were never going to get another Klopp because he and his style are unique, but they liked how Slot wanted his team to dominate possession in order to control a game. He's not high maintenance like Klopp, and while the German had an opinion on everything and didn't mind sharing it, Slot is much less controversial. The fire burns within him, as his outburst at referee Michael Oliver after the Merseyside derby shows, but mostly he is calm and controlled on the touchline. Liverpool fans expected 3rd place at best, and no one, not even the most rabid of Reds, expected them to walk the Premier League. Don't forget, this will only be Liverpool's 2nd title in 35 years, and it is all down to Slot. So Liverpool fans must have faith that FSG can get the big calls right.